Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Operation Newblood. We'll go ahead and get started here with the KMT. They're doing nothing, but they have 3 to spend. They're buying an infantry, placing it in Yunnan, and leaving everything else the way it is, waiting for the oncoming attacks that are surely going to come. Okay. With the U.S., I have some technology that we're going to roll for, and we're going to roll for jet fighters, large ship construction, radar, strategic rockets, advanced mechanized infantry. I think it just says advanced mechanized infantry. And that was, I didn't write that down, that was it is 7 plus. And then for the Russians, gonna roll their tech at a 9 plus for rockets. Okay, so jet fighters at an 8 plus, that's a 10. So that moves up to stage 1. Large ship construction at an 8 plus. That's a 7, so that's a fail. Radar, it's 7 plus. That's a 12, so that moves up to stage 1. And then strategic rockets at a 9 plus. And that's a 2, so that's a fail. And and then advanced mechanized infantry at a 7 plus as well. That's a 2, so that's a fail. And then the Russian tech for rockets at a 9 plus. And that's a 2. Man, it's 3 straight 2s. Those are all fails. Okay? Now, with buys for the U.S., have 73 to spend. We'll be spending all 73. We are spending 20 on our build queue carriers, 3 of them going to stage 2, and 1 of them being completed that we had in the that was in our setup chart. So that carrier is getting finished. And then we are spending 18 on our 3 battleships, going to build queue number 2. And then we are starting 3 heavy cruisers and 1 light carrier. That's 19. They are all going to build queue number 2. And then with our land units, we are spending 16 that we have left on 1 Marine and 2 armor. Okay. So that, I think I said everything. So now we will move on to combat, and we do have some housekeeping. So let's get y'all set up here. Okay, so in Captain G's attack, let's move that over just a little bit so y'all can see. Okay, in Captain G's attack, it was not actually over yet. If the heavy cruiser that died, it did not get a defense roll. If it hits, the battle will be over. If it misses, the battle will continue between Captain G's Italian damaged battleship and my 2 U.S. damaged battleships. Okay, so let me grab some dice here. And we will roll for the heavy cruiser at a 6 or less. And that's a 7, so that's a miss. So the heavy cruiser goes off, and the Italian battleship hits at a 6 or less as well. And that's a 6, so one of the battleships is kaput. And now I have 2 dice at 6. Both are 7s, naturally. The battleship at a 6, it's a 10, so that's a miss. And the one battleship at a 6, it's an 8, that's a miss. Battleship, Italian battleship at a 6, and that is a 8, so that's a miss. And then the defending battleship at a 6, it's 12. Attacking battleship at a 6, that's another 8. And then the defending battleship at a 6, that's a 9, that's a miss. Attacking battleship at a 6, that's a 1, that's a hit. So the battle ends. The Italians defeat all of the American units. So that means that the transports, because they have no defense rolls, all get sunk with the American units. Okay, now because that battle ended the way it did, I did have a counterattack ready. So we have the units we have in range. We have 7 ships and 1 fighter. And grab my units here. So, whoop, I dropped the destroyer. Okay, so we have, okay, let's around here. We have the damaged battleship defending at a 6. We have the fighter attacking at a 6. The destroyer, we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 destroyers, all attacking at 4s. And then we have 2 light cruisers that are attacking at 5s. Okay. So you guys can see that. So the fighter, well, let me grab just a few more dice so I can roll those destroyers at once. Alright, so we have the fighter attacking at a 6, that's an 11, that's a miss. We have 5 destroyers attacking at a 4. So I see 1 hit, there's a 1, so that should end it, but we'll go ahead and roll the 2 light cruisers at 5s, and those are misses, but we got the hit we needed. And then the Italian battleship gets a defense at 6, and that's a 5, so that is a hit, but it goes down in a blaze of glory. Okay, we will take out one of the American destroyers. Okay, so let's go ahead. We have some changes going on here. So let me take out the task forces here. Okay, so we'll go to non-combat. Wait, did I have any more combat? Oh, yes. I forgot to call it out, but I had it wrote down. The strategic bomber that is the heavy strategic bomber that is in southern England was going to do carpet bombing against the troops in Königsberg. So that is your attack battle board, heavy strategic bomber. That is 5 dice at 2, and there are no intercepting units. So 5 dice at 2. So I see 1 hit, and that will surely be the German militia that is there in Königsberg. Right? And it went 1 to A6, 2 to A11, 3 to A12, 4 to 4 to Königsberg. So it has plenty of range to fly back to southern England. Okay? The 2 transports, so that is all the combat I have. The 2 transports in A31 will go in, travel 1 and go in port at DC. And the plane that is in Portland, or North Pacific Northwest, will fly down to San Francisco. Okay? Alright. Now, we'll go on to place units. And I'll give you guys here. Let's go ahead and keep you all on board. So, the 2 medium armor and 1 marine will be built in Washington, D.C. And then the fleet carrier that we're finishing is being placed off the coast of San Francisco with the 5 light cruisers and 3 attack transports. Okay? So, no income differences. The U.S. except for the KMT. So the KMT spent all 3 that they had. So they will just have 1 to spend next turn, and the U.S. or 61 still plus 12, 73. So they'll have 73 to spend next turn. All right, this is all I got for the U.S. KMT turn. Didn't quite turn out the way we wanted it to, but that's okay. So I'll hand it over to Captain G for the German turn. Thanks, guys.